Merry Christmas, you kids. It is another episode of the 504 podcast, and Kellymus hit yesterday as LSU landed with the 11th best recruiting class in the country. Zack, break it down. A lot of 4 stars, a lot of in-state, locked up the state, locked up the boot, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, you get another productive class. Obviously, a lot of people are going to look at it and kind of say it doesn't have like that pop or flavor that a lot of people are looking for when it comes to like, 5 stars or heavy hitters. But you're getting a lot of contributors that can come in kind of off the bat and not necessarily make an immediate impact. But you have a lot of guys that can come in and develop and make an impact for the long term. And that's something that Brian Kelly's really, really detailed over the last 2 years that he's been in town. Is that it's just super key to continue developing your players. And look, you got guys like Trey Green, the number one tight end in America. You covered him, Corey. Like you've seen him play. You know he's an absolute freak of nature. You got guys like Caden Durham, top 10 running back in America. So you have a lot of heavy hitters that can come in and make an impact. 5-star offensive lineman Weston Davis. Like you do have those guys, but look, obviously it's a fringe top 10 class, and there are some guys that might be able to make an impact, some that might not. But I'm really happy with the way that the class turned out. Obviously, you have 26 high school commitments, one JUCO guy. You went 27 for 27. You're batting 1,000. You got everybody to put pen to paper, and it's a big accomplishment for this program to honestly not have any players go on official visits or go on any unofficials or anything on the last weekend before the dead period. Usually, you have a lot of programs come in and try to make a splash right before National Signing Day or early signing period, whatever you want to call it. And nobody did that. We've seen somebody like Billy Napier get absolutely screwed this week. So for Brian Kelly and LSU to hit it head on, bat 1,000 and go 27 for 27, significant. Look, there's some guys who are sleepers in my opinion. Devon Keys is a 4-star linebacker out of Texas. Played a very, very strenuous schedule for Alito. I think it's a guy who can make an impact pretty soon for this program. And then a guy who's not really ranked too high. He was an Ole Miss pledge, ultimately backed off, flipped to LSU, is Joseph Cryer. His tape is absolutely disgusting. He's a fantastic player. I think he can make an impact as well. And your offensive line is set for the long haul. You got like Weston Davis. You got some dudes, and you're going to be getting some news tomorrow as well. Mike will probably hit on that in a little bit. But you're going to get some news tomorrow with another player probably putting pen to paper for LSU. So really good week for this program, and it's not slowing down.
You're talking about Eccles?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've seen a lot of crystal balls get mocked to him. Recently.
Yeah, I was talking to some guys today. It sounds pretty good. And it was the type of situation where he signed, but he's not announcing until tomorrow because it's his birthday, kind of like a birthday announcement. But yeah, you don't necessarily need this guy. You got 5 offensive linemen. There were questions on if he was going to be a take or not. Just because you're at that 85 scholarship limit, you're actually 2 or 3 over. So some moves are going to be made sooner rather than later. I don't think you're done with players entering the portal just yet. But yeah, you're more than likely going to get somebody of Cohen Eccles' his caliber tomorrow. It's a big deal. He's a super good player. And you're just adding to players in the trenches. That offensive line is stacked for the future, man.
Yeah, you got 3 guards, 3 tackles. Yeah, I mean, Brad Davis, give him his flowers.
You win up front, though.
Yeah.
It's done. Like, you win in the trenches. Like, games are decided in the trenches. And for LSU and Brad Davis, this is your 3rd year in a row where you get a 5-star offensive lineman. You got Will Campbell in 2022. You got Lance Hurd last year. You got Weston Davis this year. And then you're just adding to more bodies in there that you need. Cohen Eccles is a freak. He was a Texas A&M guy. Auburn wants him really bad. It's been a battle down the stretch. It looks like LSU's going to get it done. But, yeah, you're stacked. 6 offensive linemen, all to sign early, a couple enrolling early. It's a big deal. LSU's becoming an offensive juggernaut in every facet.
No, it's pretty impressive. And then they still got guys in the shadows that could possibly sign in February, like Terry Busey, McKinley. So, besides Busey and McKinley, is there anyone else that you keep your eye out for?
No, I think those are your 2 guys that you're looking at. Offensively, you're pretty much set. You went and got a couple guys. You're going to get 2 or 3 more guys in the transfer portal. You're not done yet. There are positions of need that you still need to hit, like cornerback. We'll see what happens with Terry and his Texas A&M commitment, but obviously you're looking at somebody like Dominic McKinley, and you're circling that official visit date, January 12th through the 14th. He'll be in Baton Rouge to take an official, and that's a huge development over the last couple of weeks because this is a guy that most people thought LSU was pretty much out on. They thought if he backed off his Texas A&M commitment, he would immediately go to Texas or Oklahoma. And Ohio State's entering the mix. So for LSU to get an official visit, kind of in January, inching towards that actual national signing day, it's a huge deal. And LSU and Brian Kelly went in home last week, him and Frank Wilson went and sat down with his family, his brother, obviously Dominic, and his brother Darius has an LSU offer too. So you kind of sell that pitch that look like you will have the opportunity to be with your brother if you both so choose to. So yeah, it's a big deal for McKinley. We'll see what happens down the stretch, but that's going to be a long-term play. That's going to take some time.
Is his brother actually good, or is it like a Leonard Leonard situation?
It's certainly not a Leonard Leonard situation. His brother's a dog, and he's starting to rack up some significant Power 5 offers. He's not a joke either. He won't be of the caliber of Dominic, and Dominic's a good player. There's some times where I've questioned the 5-star status, the high 4-star status. I think his tape is decent, but he's a guy who can really thrive in the player development system of LSU. He's going to be a long-term good player.
Dude, the star status is insane. Like if you look at all the different recruiting, so like things, you got 247, On3, ESPN, Rivals. Like it really is crazy. Like we talk about Weston Davis being a 5-star tackle. Like he's not even ranked in ESPN's 300, I think. So like it really makes no sense. But yeah, I mean, if you get a 4 or 5 stars, LSU really hasn't developed that many 5 stars. If you honestly think about it, like their track record with 5 stars isn't that high. So
you could say that, but at the same time, like when I'm looking at a 5-star, like Will Campbell, I mean, obviously a freak. Lance Hurd's been looking like a freak. I'm using recency bias here as well, though. Who'd you say?
Harold Perkins.
Yeah, like I'm using recency bias here with the current roster and the current staff that you have. But yeah, obviously there's some hits, there's some misses, but I think Weston Davis is an immediate impact guy. He can step in off rip and give you
one last thing for high school kids. I saw Ryan Williams. He was that Alabama kid, 5-star, he reclassified. I saw like right before I came on here that LSU's trying to get a visit with him. Have you heard anything with that, or is that just kind of a?
I'm not. I take everything with a grain of salt with a kid who's reclassifying and trying to do all that stuff right now. He's been checking out Auburn, Bama. He went on an Auburn visit and wore Alabama gear. So this is a kid who I'm kind of looking at with. I'm taking it with a grain of salt. Your wide receiver room is stacked. You just got Xavier Thomas from the portal. You're going to get another wide receiver as well. Kyron Lacey's returning. You have a ton of youngsters. I think Ryan Williams is a tremendous football player. He's super talented, and whoever gets him is going to be extremely lucky. I just am not sure it's going to be LSU.
What about Ole Miss right now? I said this a little bit earlier about like in the transfer portal. What are they like doing right now? I mean, they're killing it.
They're dropping bags. Lane Kiffin is an absolute stud. He's locking down the South. He's locking down the transfer portal. I mean, you look at him. He coaches, and he just has so much like I don't know. It's gonna sound cringy to say because the word's weird, but he just has a ton of swag. Like he's a cool coach, man. Like why wouldn't you want to play for him? And he's dominating the transfer portal. He's getting number 1 players at different position groups. And look, it's not the type of thing where it's a 1-year wonder. Like a lot of these guys have multiple years of eligibility remaining. So this isn't going to be like a fluke. Like this isn't going to be like a thing where you're putting all your eggs in one basket for the 2024 season. Like this is something that he's building pretty tremendous, a pretty tremendous team. Out in Oxford. I'm excited. He's doing a really good thing. Giving a lot of money.
Have you looked at their schedule? It's unbelievably easy. The first like 5 weeks before they come into Baton Rouge next year. So like they're going to be a top 10. They're going to be top 10 before season. They're going to be a top 10 team going into.
Yeah, they're going to be a preseason top 8, like top 10. Let's just say top 10 team. That's
Jackson Dart's returning, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they have an unbelievably easy schedule before they go into Baton Rouge. So that'll be hopefully a top 10 matchup going into next year. But yeah, Ole Miss has it. And then it obviously gets rougher on the back end with Georgia, LSU, and all that. But they have a pretty favorable schedule. They can get into a groove. Yeah, Ole Miss is coming. The SEC doesn't seem like it's stopping for anyone. So just real quick, we can kind of end on this. Who do you think will be the best player that comes out of this class? I want to get everyone's predictions.
It's a really tough question because you can be like super casual and say like Weston Davis will be obviously a freak. I'm a huge fan of Caden Durham. He's a fantastic running back. He's super versatile. He's going to be a 2-sport athlete. He's going to run track too. Speedster out in space. You won't catch him. It's impossible. I think a tandem of Caleb Jackson and Caden Durham for the long haul is just going to be insane. And then you're obviously you're probably going to add somebody like Harlan Berry in the 2025 class. So Frank Wilson is just doing God's work on the recruiting show. But to not rant and to give you a 1-word answer, I want to say Caden Durham solely because he is just so special, and his ranking to me does not tell the story.
You can go offense.
He played the best of the best. He is unbelievably polished for his age. His body, his physique is insane for a senior in high school. So I'll be a casual and I'll say Caden Durham, even though most of the world will probably agree with that.
I was gonna say offense or like offense and defense. Like who's your
Yeah.
defensive guy?
If
Yeah.
I was to pick on defense, I love Devon Keys. I think he's super talented.
I agree with that.
But PJ Woodland is a guy who's not getting enough credit, which doesn't make sense to me, considering he was the Mississippi 7A Defensive Player of the Year. Absolute stud. Max Preps, Mississippi State Player of the Year. State champ. I mean, he's a guy who kind of played an athlete role, but he's going to be playing cornerback for LSU. I think that this is a guy who can come in and, come year 2, he's going to be asked to take on a pretty big role. So I think PJ Woodland on the defensive side of the ball is somebody who could do some pretty good things for this program. But I've been going on for 10 minutes now. Let's get everybody in the mix. Let's talk. What else do I want to talk?
Well, on here, Corey. Corey, what are your predictions?
I got Keys defensively as well, but a little surpriser offensively. You already said I covered him, but he's a better basketball player as a football player. But he reminds me of Antonio Gates. His straight as
That's fantastic.
Football. He's 6'7". He's a freak. He runs a 4.4. If LSU puts him in position to succeed, I think he will. And Trades is a smart guy. He's going to be incredible this season. Next season, the start for LSU as a weapon. I'm really excited for Trades.
You saw he's ineligible for basketball, huh?
Huh?
You saw he's ineligible for basketball.
I know. Zachary,
it's madness. How are you eligible for football, but you're not eligible for basketball because you're saying there were recruiting violations?
Because the LHSA and the NCAA suck.
It's a joke. But yeah, Trades is.
Kids love making kids ineligible who are 40, 50 years old. Love making kids who are 17 years old life hard.
Stupid.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Pelicans. Let's shift gears here just a little bit.
Lay it on us, baby.
8 blown leads in 28 games. Not double-digit blown leads, guys. Double-digit. Yes, we're 16-12. The team is good. It's loaded. How don't you play Trey Murphy in the fourth quarter? They don't realize how valuable Trey Murphy is and how he needs to at least take 5 shots a game.
Or Jordan Hawkins, for that matter.
Dude, Jordan Hawkins. Why is Dyson Daniels and Nagy Marshall getting minutes over Jordan Hawkins?
I put emphasis on Nagy Marshall. I'm done. I'm out on Nagy Marshall. That's not my new Kyra Lewis because I think Kyra Lewis he weighs a cotton ball and he's just absolute buns. But Najee Marshall should not be taking minutes away from Jordan Hawkins.
100%. Oh, he's a knife.
Cool. I don't know, bro. I was at Mike. What you think?
A player.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Najee has played better this year. I think he's shooting around 40% from 3. I will give it to him on that. But yeah, no, he hasn't. The last game was really, really bad. There were certain circumstances where he was literally costing the team. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't good. Dyson is unbelievably defensively. Every time I watch him, I'm super impressed.
No, he's great.
Then you get on the offense and you're like, ooh. Yeah, whenever he shoots the ball, I'm just like, oh shit, okay. But he's Dyson, I can justify being out there. But yeah, Hawkins, he should be out there and just cut everyone else's minutes by 2 minutes or something like that. I'm really not too sure. But yeah, Trey Murphy has to see the floor in the fourth quarter. He's arguably our third best player. You could easily make that argument. So there's literally no reason he shouldn't be out there. But they need a defensive center, like a defensive presence in the paint. So freaking bad. That's all Memphis did was attack the paint.
Yeah, why don't you double him?
Just
double him and get the ball out of his hands.
I was at the game on Tuesday. Everyone in the world knows that John Morant is going to dribble into the paint.
Why don't you double him from the start and get the ball out of the hands?
It makes no sense. And look, I'm not going to sit here and talk shit on Willie Green's name.
I like Willie. I do.
I like Willie.
Defend him right now.
I do, but precisely, it's hard to defend him because you're giving unique players unique minutes. You're not giving others enough. And then the adjustments, the lack of I'm done. I'm done. I got nothing.
He's been terrible with the rotations since he's been here. He keeps saying, "Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out." He's been saying that. How long has he been here? 4 years now. He says the same thing.
3,
4. This might be his 4th year, huh?
Maybe it is.
It's his third.
Yeah, he's been saying rotations. I mean, that's literally half the job of a coach is figure out the rotations, the right time to play the players. So these guys are way too talented to be coached in a lot of circumstances. It's just they don't. He's just too much of a players coach at times, and I don't know. It's gotten to be
Well said.
it's just gotten to be not good. I really don't know what the problem is, but he hasn't figured it out. So
So if
I
you
don't
don't blow, so you blew 10 double-digit leads. I have to cut you off, Mike. 10 double-digit leads, right?
yeah,
Say,
it's rotations.
say if you cut that in half, you're 20-8, and you're the number 2 seed. And you're 1 game back from the 1 seed.
Or if Zion plays games with load management, that's another conversation. I just wanted to get you going. But yeah, no, seriously, like they're just
That's worked so far. So
yeah, okay. He's fat. Fat guys
he's
need to
gonna be
run.
fat, lazy.
Fat guys need to run. Yeah, no, the Pelicans are just infuriating. Like I don't know if I've heard this from, might have been from you or someone else, but it's just like they're consistently inconsistent. So I don't really know what else to say.
Whoever said that,
They're
that's
blue
fantastic.
balls, man. They're
Dude.
literally blue balls. They get
They're
you
just
and they get you excited, but they never finish you off.
they're just infuriating. They're just
I
an
love that.
infuriating
I
young
love
team with
that.
constant injuries. I don't get it. But they do need to make a trade. Do you think they're like trade time window? I wouldn't say window, but like, do you think it's already passed them up? Like, who do you even go get? Because I've looked at every single roster
Lori?
and who?
Lori?
No, they need
Good
like a
God, I
defensive.
feel like you'd have to give up that'd be a fantastic fit. But I feel like you'd have to give up a ton, huh? What do you think?
Give up Jonas, probably Dyson Daniels, and 3 first.
Who's protecting the rim? Who's that guy that's when the good center comes in town and be Jokic?
But Lori hasn't been horrible around the rim.
Who?
In Utah.
But he's not. You need a defensive big. Like you need a guy that's going to crash the boards. You need a guy that's going to get 10 plus rebounds a game. Like Jonas is really good offensive rebounds, but like defensively, he's not
But
locking down the paint.
Lori is better defensively, more athletic than Jonas?
He's more athletic. That's no doubt about it. He's definitely a better player. But Jonas is more physical down low, but he doesn't protect the paint like he probably should. That's the problem. Like he can't switch. I was watching him against Memphis, like when they were doing pick and rolls. Jonas is like very coachable things, by the way. I'm just gonna say that. But Jonas is like literally 5 feet like up more than he should be. He should be dropping down and like let the team shoot threes, bro. Like, you know, it's just common sense. And it seems like they keep doing the same shit. It blows my mind. But no, they need like I really don't know. Like you could make Clint Capella, but it's like Clint Capella's skill level really that much better than Jonas's? Like,
No, I mean he's obviously a better rim protector, but
Jared Allen. Y'all talk about Jared Allen.
Like, yeah, we've been saying that for so long, bro.
But like, what's the difference?
Like, but I feel like
Jonas
players.
We've said Claxton. We've said Miles Turner, the dream.
Miles Turner's a perfect fit.
Like we've talked about so many players, and it's like at what point are you actually going to make that move to do something?
Yeah.
Like I just want to see.
That's what I'm saying.
Lori's actually an upgrade.
Lori's in my opinion, out of all those guys, I like Lori the most. He can spread the floor. He can get in the paint if you need him to. He can rebound when he wants to be physical. Obviously, he's not as physically imposing as Jonas, but
well, do me a favor. See how many
That's
blocks.
What I'm doing. How many blocks? Oh, okay. I was gonna look up his contract. I was gonna say let's make a trade real quick.
You look up his contract. I'll look up his blocks.
Let's make a trade real quick. I'm pretty sure he has a really reasonable contract because
he's
17 this year and then 18 partially guaranteed next year, and he's an unrestricted free agent at the age of 28. So who's the trade? Is it Jonas? Jonas is guaranteed, right?
Jonas, Dyson Daniels,
Nagy,
and then a couple first.
I would give anything
more
more
in there just for fun because I hate him.
Yeah,
Kyra, poor Kyra. Yeah, no, he needs
cash considerations. That's what Kyra is.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Lori the guy you just kind of? I wouldn't say it's an all-in move, but it's it's close to it. Like, is that the guy? Like, I
think he could be a glue guy like Aaron Gordon in Denver. You know how the Nuggets just needed a guy that fits next to Jokic, that understands him, that can play a couple of different spots and kind of.
Am I wrong for thinking Laurie kind of brings more value to the table than Aaron Gordon? Like I feel
Yes,
like,
but Aaron
better.
Gordon's a perfect fit.
yeah, he is.
And I think Laurie could be that with Zion.
But you're gonna put Markin at the 5,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then who's your backup? Cody Zeller and 6'7" Larry Nance, who's
Then
constantly hurt.
you got to go find fucking.
Like who like that's the thing. If you go after Laurie, like, bull. If you go get Laurie, like you got to go get someone else. You got to go get like Isaiah Stewart or someone like that.
Yeah.
Like someone that's going to go in there and get 10 boards off like 15 minutes. Like you have to get that guy.
Well, Laurie gets like 9.5 boards. Like, and Jonas gets you 10. So the difference there in boards is like maybe 1. But you're adding a lot more points. You're adding a lot more 3-point shooting, and you're adding a lot more athleticism where you can switch a lot more things.
Would you rather go into more in on Donovan Mitchell or Laurie Marketing? When I say Donovan Mitchell, you'd obviously have to give it McCollum, Daniels, and then like some picks.
Yeah, but that's just a lot of scoring, dude. Like,
From a fit perspective, you probably have to say Laurie.
Mitchell, Herb, Ingram, Zion, Murphy. That's your starting 5, or not starting 5. That's your closing 5. Think about that, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like even like looking at the probably like contractually and stuff too. Like I'd probably still say Laurie. And it's not me saying Laurie's a better player than Donovan Mitchell because obviously Mitchell clears.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm saying is from a fit perspective, I'd probably want to take Laurie based off the contract and just bring him into that team because he doesn't need as many touches.
Murphy.
Yeah, like
150 million in 4 years soon. I'm serious. Trey is getting that contract.
You think Trey's going to get the max?
Without a doubt.
You think Trey's worthy of a max?
Hell yes. He's $100 million player.
Okay, you can be $100 million, but like not $100 million doesn't mean you're getting a max. You can get a 5-year 100, and that's $20 million.
He's not going to get a max, but he's going to get $100 million deal. A max for him. A max for a player like him is
if he goes on the open market, a team's going to pay him 150, 160, 170. Because he's a 6'10" wing who can shoot, who can dunk the hell out of the basketball, who right now in like 25 minutes is averaging 17-5 and 44% shooting and can defend. There's not a lot of wings that can do all that.
So it sounds like the Pelicans should cash in then on an asset.
Right now, bro. Like as soon as they can offer that man an extension, you extend him.
Dude, what if we got Marketing and Kessler and then just threw like every pick we had and then just threw McCollum in there? Huh?
I'm fine with that.
You're fine with what?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, you have Kessler and Marketing. I mean, Utah would never do it, but there's a big hypothetical. But like if you just threw,
what the hell do they have to lose? They probably do anything.
It's the white guys, bro. They love their white guys.
Oh, it's a good point. It's a good point.
I don't know. The Pelicans, it's just they're gonna have to cash in some of these chips because they can't pay all these guys. They're due. I mean, Najee's probably gonna get paid. The what?
Speaking of white guys, I was looking at some research. All these clowns talking about like the white versus black bowl.
Bro, did you see the?
You're giving this attention.
I did a roster, so I actually did. I went down and like, oh man, who's gonna play cornerback? Well, Riley Moss, who I cover, one of the cornerbacks in college football last year at Iowa, is white. Also, if you do a racial draft, now here's the thing: blacks are probably gonna pick Patrick Mahomes, right? All right. Then the whites, you got to go and get like Christian Gonzalez or Byron Murphy. You just got to go all in at cornerback right there.
Somebody said you need to go get Kyle Hamilton because he's half white and when played football for Notre Dame. And I thought it was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I saw that, but I would rather Jesse Bates over Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
DBs are getting cooked.
But like you're sitting there, you look at that, but you can make it work during the biracial draft off of defensive backs. You just strictly go to that. You need a backup running back too.
This is literally the Dave Chappelle racial draft. Like
it is. It is funny. It's a horrible tweet.
Stop! It's so funny, bro. I'm so good for it.
People have made it funny. Let's just say that. So, anywho, let's talk about.
It's a good segue to the Saints.
Yeah.
I got one thing before the Saints though for you, Corey.
Uh,
The other day we were talking about like Tulane and everything that's going on down uptown and everything, and you saw who's potentially taking a visit to Tulane, huh?
Dude, 5-star quarterback from dun, 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 dun.
Malachi Nelson.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. Get hype up.
Like
Dude.
what?
Dude, John Summerall is the best hire Tulane has ever had.
Now, don't get me wrong here. He's probably not going to go to Tulane.
No, but
the fact that among the 5 schools that he's talking to closely and is considering taking visits to, just the fact that Tulane's even in the damn mix to me is insane. Obviously, there were some problems at USC. Like, they brought in a guy, but I don't think they thought that Malachi was who Malachi is. But the fact that a guy of his caliber, who has an insane ceiling, who's proven he can play against talented players in high school, try to translate that to the next level. Dude, the fact that he's even talking to Tulane, kudos to that program.
Dude, did you hear his press conference real quick?
Yeah, I did.
If you're juiceless, you're useless. And
when he said that, my jaw dropped. I literally went. I was like, "You are tough as shit." My man was
dropping quotes the whole time. I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, bro, I want to go play with this guy."
I love it, and I like you have so much. There's the talent pool in Louisiana is so significant. I don't think it's going to be a matter of in the kindest way possible towards Tulane. Like, I don't think it's going to be any more like, oh, the guys who weren't getting offered by LSU or the LSU rejects go to like UL, Tulane, whatever. Like, I think this guy could start to like gain traction on the recruiting trail and start to like make some noise with some Louisiana recruits. Like, this dude's a dog.
Dude, it's Uptown too.
Exactly.
Like, Uptown's it's #1 academic school maybe in the South.
And there's some money in the program. Like,
hey, cool uniforms, cool logo.
Yeah.
Let's roll, baby. We're rolling.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I had to throw that out there before we segued, though.
Yeah. Now let's roll on to the Saints.
Now y'all hop on. Y'all pop onto the Saints. I'm gonna take this call. I had to let that be known because, dude, Tulane's gotta be rolling.
Tulane's rolling. Just like Will Wade against ULL, but it's okay. I'll end with that.
It's for another day. You'll kill it. I'll catch you on a little bit. Good stuff, fellas.
I appreciate you. Later. All right, Mike. Let's talk about this team tonight. You know, if they win, that's a wild card in the playoffs. And potentially, the Bucks lose, could be in the playoffs. Just how miserable we want it to be, talking about the playoffs of a team with absolutely no future. But what I really want to ask you, what is your thoughts on Dennis Allen using the fans against them and the Saints talking about ticket prices and the fans booing them?
Dude, the Saints right now are literally putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. Like right now. Like, this is so embarrassing. Like, how people are like lying to themselves. Let's be honest. Like, I don't know if anyone knows like Hold the Mayo, that guy on Twitter. Like, people call in. People one week are like screaming into the telephone, "Got to get rid of Derek Carr. Got to get rid of Derek Carr. Dennis Allen's the worst. He's the worst. Can't beat anyone." And then we beat the freaking 4-8 Giants or whatever the hell they are. And now people are like, "Oh, let's go to the playoffs. They look good against a bad offensive line and a fourth string quarterback, third string quarterback. Like, at home, give me a break. This team sucks. I don't care what anyone says. Like, I was going to ask you to tank or not to tank. Like, at this point, like, is it better? Is it better to go to the playoffs, lose, maybe win?
This 2 weeks ago. It's the same thing, of course.
Exactly. But everyone changes their mind every week. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Saints should tank," and then now they're like, "Oh, we should win, so we go to the playoffs and lose in the first or second round." It's like, dude, like, this team sucks. Like, you really want to give Gale's loyal till a fault, it seems like. Like, do you really want to give this team a reason to stick with Dennis Allen and just have a GM who's naive and is like, "Oh, we still are in a winning window and with no cap space and an aging roster and fans are pissed off at us." And it's a joke, dude. Like, this franchise is not in a good place. People are lying to themselves, and I'm pretty sick of it, to be honest with you. Like, I just think it's better to lose and restart and get a higher draft pick. So it's just disappointing to see where we're at, and it's infuriating, to be honest with you.
the sad part about this, Mike? This team. If Dennis Allen loses all 3 games, he gets fired. Dennis Allen loses the 2 divisional games after this, he gets fired. But if he goes 8-9, wins, loses tonight,
Get him out of here.
But
Dude,
he-
I don't know what else. Like,
dude, they're gonna keep him.
you
If they
can't have,
go
you,
9-8, they're gonna keep him.
bro. You literally can't have leaders of your team on Twitter bashing your coach and like talking shit about like the whole like franchise and just the culture as a whole. Like, you can't have that. Like, as a good NFL coach, I don't know any good NFL coaches that allow that kind of stuff, and it's not a good situation. I think Saints fans lie to themselves and they want to recreate this Breeze era thing, and it's over. Like, it's over. I don't know what to say. I don't. It's Christmas. I'm trying to be nice, but I really don't care. Like, this is not a good situation. People are lying to themselves. People are like, oh, you can't tank in the NFL. It's like, all right, well, I'd rather just restart and blow it all up rather than just everyone lie to themselves. So it's not that good. Tonight is honestly as crazy as it sounds. We're shooting this on the 21st. The Saints play the Rams tonight. Like, this is literally Dennis Allen. Like, if he wins big, I'd be astonished, but I don't think they're going to win this game. I really don't. But they're playing on the road. The Saints somehow do play better on the road, so I would not be shocked by anything. But yeah, no, it's
Score prediction.
Saints aren't putting up more than 17. There's no way.
23-16 Rams.
23-60. I was going to say 17 Saints. I think Groupie will get 1 field goal, and then I think have the Saints had a rushing touchdown besides Taysom Hill? Like, Kamara.
Yeah, Paris had like 4.
I feel so rare that Kamara gets like inside the goal. Like,
I don't know. It's weird.
it's just, dude, it's not good. I'm just tired of it. I just think I'm tired of people lying to themselves. I'm tired of people like just thinking we have a chance to do something special. It's like, but I will say this though. So like last week, Derek Carr had time for the first time in a long time. He did look like a different quarterback. I will say that. Like, QBs, when they have time, they are different players. Like, he didn't seem rushed. He seemed like, I think Derek Carr is one of those guys where, like, you get in his head, it is over. Like, if you get in his head on the 3rd play of the game, like, the rest of the game, he's going to shit the bed. Like,
You're going to get Donald tonight.
Yeah, no, Donald's like the whole, like, if Donald gets pressure in his face tonight, like early, like, it's going to be an ugly game for the Saints. Like, it's going to be really bad. But if Carr gets into a rhythm and he gets protection tonight, I think he could make some noise. But yeah, it's just like any other player. Like, you are what your weapons and coaching have, and Saints are down Michael Thomas. Shaheed's kind of banged up. Olave's got a new injury every week, so the O-line's inconsistent. So yeah, I mean, if the Saints get a top 12 pick, go get a tackle, go build on the offensive line. If one of the 3 QBs are there, just take it.
It's not going to happen, man. I'm being honest with you. You know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
They're going to lose tonight. They're going to lose to the Bucs, and then they're going to beat the Falcons and be sitting here at 8-9. They're going to get like a 16th or 17th pick and just miss the playoffs.
It won't be that late. It won't be that late. You know how many teams are like near the same like record? Like, there's like 7 teams that have like 8, 9, 7, and whatever it is, like 7 and 10.
They'll find some way.
Huh?
They'll find some way.
Yeah, all these teams are literally going to be like right next to each other in standings, but
we'll see what happens, with the black and gold.
What was your score prediction?
It was 23-16 Rams.
Yeah, I'll say 21. No, I'll say 24-17 Rams. I'll say that.
God, this is like Price is Right, man. You just jump one number in front of me.
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I think Saints will get 2 touchdowns and a field goal. I think that's their ceiling. I don't. Do you see the Saints offense scoring 3 touchdowns tonight? I don't. I'll be shocked. Unless they like do some backdoor thing.
Yeah, they get like a pick on like the 10, but even then, they suck in the red zone. All right, that's it from the 504 podcast. It's been a great episode. We appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe. Merry Christmas. Give us our Christmas present and hit that follow button. Peace out.